What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. So I did not expect to wake up on this chilly Tuesday morning here in Arizona and be absolutely cringed out by USC as soon as I checked Twitter. So the front page of the media guide that we wrote at USC is going around, and it's probably the most cringe thing I guess I've ever seen come out of USC. Like, I'm genuinely embarrassed, but we have to talk about it. Oregon's obviously taking their victory laps, talking a whole bunch of stuff over on Twitter. They won the game, whatever. I'm not going to be insecure about Oregon fans. I sat there and watched my school win a national title, multiple actually, as a kid. And while it may have been a long time ago, I have seen it, unlike any Oregon fan ever. So they're absolutely entitled to celebrate their win, but it's not going to have me feeling any kind of way. But before we do get into this, guys, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's talk about this cringe media guide from USC. Yeah, I don't think I've ever read anything like this. It's just a bizarre read. And I really think it helps to illustrate the big problem at USC right now. And we just talked about this with the Iowa win. Lincoln Riley celebrated beating a team at home that you're favored by almost 10 points by. He celebrated that like we had won the Super Bowl or we had won the Big Ten or won a national title. Like, it was such an over-the-top celebration for a game you should have won, for a game you played pretty terrible in. When we went into that Oregon game, the team as a whole was not really focused. Special teams, defense, penalties. We were not ready to play that game. And we didn't have the right mindset that entire week to win the game, clearly. But let's just go through this media guide. We'll read it together. We'll get through it together. We'll cringe together. So hang in there and know that it only gets worse. Duck hunting season. The conditions are perfect to head up north for a duck hunt. The number 16 Trojans face an old Pac-12 foe, the number 6 Oregon Ducks, in a marquee matchup that will be featured on College Game Day. Nothing too crazy there. USC has won 11 national championships, Oregon 0. That is factual. Both schools have produced Heisman Trophy winners. USC has 8, the most of any college football program, Oregon 1. And then that goes on for a while. Just us saying that we have a more historical presence than Oregon does. You guys know all the stats. And then you get down to the bottom of this part. Saturday's game will most certainly have playoff implications. In the wise words of Vince Vaughn's character from the movie Wedding Crashers, let's go kill some birds. I'm psyched. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. I'm cringing as I'm reading this. This is from the university. This is the media guide from USC. I don't know who wrote this. I don't know if it was Katie Ryan. The fact that this even got approved is just an absolute embarrassment. Let's go kill some birds. I'm psyched. Guys, this is a media guide from USC. What are we doing? And then this is where it gets really, really bad. I'm going to try to not laugh as I read this. It's just some of the most ridiculous things I've ever said out loud on this channel. But weatherproof win. They said we weren't gritty enough. They said we weren't tough enough. They said we couldn't compete with real Big Ten football. Did they see the final score? Question mark, exclamation point. Oh my God. This is just an atrocity that they released this to the public. In a grimy, hard-nosed game in the pouring rain, the Trojans showcased their resilience and defeated number 21 Iowa 26-21 in front of a national audience. That one isn't as bad. A culture win right there, man. If there ever was one, that was a culture win. Our team's resilience, their response at halftime, we just keep coming. We have all year, says head coach Lincoln Riley. And this is where it just gets off the rails. This win permanently cemented USC not only belonging in the Big Ten, but now setting the standard. Guys, we beat an Iowa team that couldn't throw a forward pass after playing one of the worst halves of football I've ever seen at USC. And now we're setting the standard for the entire Big Ten. I can't. And that's just the first page. I'm sure there's more, but I can't handle it. I really can't. To say that you're setting the standard for the Big Ten because of a home win against Iowa, where you don't even cover? Yeah, this is just every single problem at USC right now. Every single presser, Lincoln Riley reminds you how many games he's won. He's getting paid a shit ton of money to produce mediocre results pretty much every year. And then you see this insane propaganda piece coming from the university. I've never read anything like this. Whether it's the Vince Vaughn quote, or they said we couldn't compete with real Big Ten football. Did they see the final score? Like, who wrote this? I genuinely need to know who wrote this. There's no way in hell Katie Ryan wrote this. There's not a chance. This is written like a 10-year-old that's had one too many juice boxes and is losing their mind. Let me just read this line again. This win permanently cemented USC, not only belonging in the Big Ten, but now setting the standard. Chad Bowden, Jen Cohen, I need you guys to step in. Please, find out who wrote this. Make them apologize or something. I just can't believe what I'm reading. This is one of the most insane things I've ever seen from USC, from any school. Not only is this unprofessional, this is small time, this is cringe, this is embarrassing. This reads like a school who's never been there before. At USC, why are we telling everyone how great we are? Why are we screaming it from the mountaintop? We don't need to be doing that. And for the love of God, this program and that Iowa win, like it was the best thing that's ever happened. It was a good win, but that's the end of it. A good win at home against a team you were favored by a lot of points against. Like, what are we doing? Especially heading into Oregon week, the focus was not there all week long. Whether it was Lincoln Riley on Trojans Live, Lincoln Riley in his pressers, and now this, the whole narrative from the program, it's like they expected to lose to Oregon. So the narrative the entire week was, let's just talk about how great we are. Let's just talk about how many wins we have this season. That's embarrassing. We're USC and we're not acting like it, even though we think we are, by telling everyone how great we are. Like, that's not what USC does. Since when is a 5-point win at home against Iowa something to raise a banner for? Like, this entire thing is just insane. There are very few times in my life I've been genuinely embarrassed by something that USC does. This is definitely one of those times. Like, any Oregon fan, any Ohio State fan, any fan of any sport ever, if they want to read this and rip USC a new one and make fun of us, green light. And all the clips are going around from the Oregon Ducks versus them series. Dan Lanning used this as motivation for his team. Like, the cringe is just overwhelming with this. I just can't. To say that you're now setting the standard for the entire Big Ten when Ohio State did what they did last year because of a 5-point win at home against Iowa. Guys, what the hell are we doing? I honestly don't have anything more to add. I'm kind of just ranting because I need to talk to somebody about this. So I'm just talking to you guys through the microphone. But yeah, this is beyond a bad look, beyond an embarrassing look. Whoever wrote this needs to raise their hand and needs to never be allowed to touch another media guide again for as long as they live. All right, I think I got it out of my system. Just had to vent. I will have a transfer portal preview that'll be out later tonight. And of course, who wouldn't want to transfer to USC now that we're setting the standard in the entire Big Ten with our 5-point win over Iowa? My God. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I'll talk to you later. You guys are all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on. Good God.